Hello, Plain Donuts listeners. This is your co-host, Steve. Welcome to the podcast, Plain Donuts. Enjoy the show.
Okay, good.
Okay, I accidentally messed up our 5 seconds of silence by saying band name because Steve always wants to have a band called 5 Seconds of Silence.
It's my new metal band.
I was thinking more ska, maybe.
You don't name a ska band 5 Seconds of Silence.
What would you name your ska band?
Let me think. Hold on. I don't know. Go Home Rudy is probably
Go Home Rudy?
probably a good band name.
What is that off of?
Nothing.
Oh,
it's just because
someone named Rudy that we know.
Because in ska history, this is my wife suggested that we do
Ska-story.
My wife suggested that we do a drunk history, except Alicia would be the only one that was drunk.
Because Steve's never been drunk.
I've never been drunk. I will drink, but I've never been drunk. I've been...
Yeah.
I guess you could say I've been
Wink.
buzzed. But not really, because I've mostly just got to the point where my face gets hot. That's like as far...
And then you're like, I'm uncomfortable. And
that's as far down that... Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's as far down that... I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you like a jerk.
We interrupt each other. It's okay.
I know, this podcast is all about... Like,
interruptions!
yeah, exactly. Actually, that was very coordinated.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is our first drunk history where neither of us is currently drunk. But anyway, back in the old days of ska, like when I was a teenager, I was a big ska kid. I don't know if you knew that.
Who wasn't?
Well, for a certain summer, everyone was. But anyway, so I did I liked like traditional ska from like Jamaica, and that was kind of my favorite. I don't know why. Ska's kind of, I don't really like it as much anymore. Anyway, they used to call like ska kids rude boys.
Wow.
Or like Rudy would be like the way they would short that.
That makes more sense
that.
now. So Go Home Rudy.
Go Home Rudy is like the name of my ska band, and it's also like a death knell to ska.
Wow, it's so meta. Meta ska.
I just made that up. Go Home Rudy came literally off the top of my head.
Good.
Thanks, man.
Well, if you ever happen to have a ska band, there you go.
My brother keeps trying to get me to like be in a ska band, and well, not anymore. I think he kind of understands that I'm not really so into that music anymore.
So those escaped.
What? It's a really bad pun.
Oh, we haven't even introduced ourselves yet. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
You're right.
Hey, welcome to Plain Donuts Podcast. This is Alicia.
I'm your co-host, Steve.
And I'm also a co-host. I just didn't say
Alicia
that.
forgot to give her denominator.
Steve's my boss. So.
That's not true. Although,
I love saying that.
Although I feel like I'm always telling you what to do, like, and not in a I feel like most of the time you could just say no, I'm not doing that, and you have before. But usually I'm like, what if we just did this? Usually it's with our dumb pictures, but
and if you haven't seen our hot Lin-Manuel Miranda pic,
I know
it's too hot to handle.
Pornographic centaur.
You'll understand once you see it.
Hashtag centaur porn. Rule 34 says that there's already porn for that.
Oh, geez. So there goes our PG rating for the... Oh, no, I guess technically...
No, we didn't say any cuss words yet.
We hadn't said any cusses yet.
I'm not going to cuss. Well, maybe later, but like not right now. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to.
So we do have a lot of questions to get to this week, weirdly. This is, I guess, the pet week.
The pet-themed episode, just because I noticed we got a lot more questions when we gave out a specific topic to ask questions about, and everyone loves talking about their pets. I love talking about my pets. Steve loves talking about his pets.
Plus, the world's going straight to hell, so basically...
And pets are the only cute things that can save us.
Yeah.
So...
Pretty much. Okay, cool. Hopefully the mushroom cloud doesn't come while we're recording this podcast. Although that would be kind of weird.
Fallout, Steve.
What if it wouldn't even get saved, so like you couldn't even listen back.
That's so sad. All of our hard work is just gone.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like... Probably the stuff is saved in servers somewhere else.
In the space.
Somewhere on Libsyn's network.
Thanks. Shout out to Libsyn.
Yeah, our podcast hosts. They're the best.
Yeah,
it's only $15 a month. You guys should host your podcast with them. It's very easy, and they do a good job.
Yeah. Money, please, Libsyn.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, this is a free advertisement at this point.
You're welcome.
At least hook us up with like a free month or something.
One free month.
Hey, before we go on, and we need to get started with our oh, hey, how was your week? Crap. It's not crap. It's crap. Wonderful. But really, before we go on, we should mention that we surpassed 1,000 total downloads.
Woo!
We did it, and my dogs are barking down the stairs.
They're so excited for us.
I know. They're like, "What, Dad? 1,000 downloads? Are you kidding me? You didn't say anything."
I really like that zipper pull sound. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that, but it's good sound.
I get a little like fidgety. I think I was clicking a pen on the podcast one week.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, dude. So listen, right now the peaks on our recording are very much in the range we want them to be.
Peaked.
Loud parts are loud but not peaking. Soft parts are soft but not too soft. It's really lovely. I'm just gonna have such a great time editing this together later.
I really love that Steve spends so much time on it.
Oh jeez, thanks. Well, you've been working hard too. You photoshopped Lin-Manuel Miranda's face on a centaur. You made another image that's much more design friendly for Cola's page so that she doesn't lose Debbie Diggs followership.
It's not too pornographic for her page. Yeah, it's good.
It's really good. I mean, that was a really good... Guys, last week's podcast was really good.
It was fun.
And not as many people listen to it as a normal one. And it's a bummer because... I think it's because my wife was suggesting maybe it's sort of the topic people don't really care about their own social media.
I think it might be the length too. It was a lot longer. It was about an hour and a half.
Yeah, because Cola just talks forever. Just kidding. Oh, jeez.
Speaking of talking forever, Steve had an interview today.
Oh, yes.
Let's launch into that section.
I don't know if I can... Yeah, okay, so I can talk about
Steve
my day.
works at a place...
I work at a place that is hiring for, a promotive position from where I'm at, so I applied and they interviewed me for it today. It would be cool to get... I'm a little suspicious that I'm not totally qualified, but I don't really know. I don't know exactly what they're looking for, and I've been in kind of a leadership position at my job for a while anyway, so it's not it's not a crazy movement.
Yeah.
But I just don't know that I'm totally qualified. So, and that's okay. If I don't get it, that's all right. If I do get it, all right.
Yeah.
What a great time.
And we'll celebrate by having a special episode.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know what Steve wants to do.
But anyway, it was a 2-hour interview, so that's kind of a long time. But the thing is obviously I talk for a long time.
No way.
Yeah, I know. It's really bad. And so I was the one who drew it out probably. But they didn't shut me up and kick me out of the room or anything. So they're like, "Oh, you're fired now." Yeah. So anyway, that would be cool to get. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, I think you would do a great job.
Thanks.
And it's the natural progression of things, right? Career-wise.
To a degree, yeah. So I don't know what else would be the next step.
And I don't really know too much about your job, so it just seems this is the next step. So
that's fair. I'm drinking 2 separate drinks right now. I've got water and chai tea.
No, he's not holding both, but he was at one point when he was walking up the stairs.
That's true. That is an accurate sentiment. Let's see. What else has happened?
I feel like I had a crazy story to tell you, and maybe I don't know.
As you think of it, let's recap. So we recorded last week on Tuesday, and I think part of the reason... I'm really sorry I keep talking about our podcast numbers, guys. Get over it. That's part of our podcast. Anyway, that was a dumb joke, and I peaked. Anyway, I think part of the reason that the numbers were kind of weird is because we released it a little bit later than usual. Mm-hmm. And so people, I do feel like, and for the record, please let us know if this is you, but here's a little bit of the behind the curtain of the Plain Donuts podcast. Usually we release the podcast on Wednesdays and then actually promote the podcast on Thursdays as kind of an experiment to see what our consistent listenership is right away without us saying anything. So it's kind of like an idea of subscribers. There's really no way right now that we can actually track subscribers. Even iTunes doesn't tell you like, oh, you have X number of people subscribed to this podcast or whatever. They just all they show is those ratings and reviews. So get on it, my dogs.
Yeah, rate us.
Anyway, I'm just...
Even if it's, I mean, if you give us 4 stars, I won't be mad. But 5 stars is better.
Well,
so.
I mean, we are on a streak right now of 7 5-star ratings.
I know, that's so great.
So, like, I mean, serious numbers up in here.
Serious numbers. But 7 is lucky, so...
Yeah, so maybe don't go on
Don't, yeah.
Just kidding.
We like to give out really conflicting messages.
Yeah, we're really good at, like activating our audience.
Apparently.
Let's see. I'm just trying to look up. Oh yeah. We're still at 7 5-star ratings. That's really good, guys. Great job.
So good.
You know what? We love you. Anyway,
we love all 7 of you.
So
true fans.
The point is, I think that some people were like going to whatever. I don't know. It seems like the way I could see it, like some people were going to their normal routes for finding the podcast and not finding the new one and listening to the old one because that one had a lot of listeners. Yeah. And this one has a little bit less. But I don't know. Guys, I don't really know. I'm just BSing and trying to wait for Alicia to remember her good story.
I don't remember my good story.
Oh, no.
But I guess I will say, while I was driving over here, I got really lost. So Steve lives in kind of a weird, like, new development area. And I was coming from a separate city. And I was like, I'll try this new route because I'm smart. I can figure it out myself. Like, I can take directions. I can figure out stuff. I can read the stars and figure out where I am.
Here's the thing. I think the way that you read books by some sort of magical formula of like consuming a paragraph at a time, which is how you described it to me.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't think that works as well for directions.
No, it does. So I was trying to find my way, and I ended up at Antelope Island.
Are you serious?
I ended up I don't know how it happened, because I was like, this is where I need to go. Usually I'm pretty good at like finding my way, but if I've never been in like a certain like area
not
before,
all the way to the island.
I got to the booth though where you couldn't go to the
like to cross
to
right.
the
you were
the
like
road.
crossing the lake.
That would be very confusing. Like I don't remember Steve's house being on Antelope Island. So for those of you who are not from Utah and not familiar with Antelope Island, it's an island in the middle of the Great Salt Lake, and there's only one way on and one way off to the island. It's this long 9-mile road. I did not go on the 9-mile road, but I got to the point where there's the little park ranger booth. I'm like, this is really wrong. I don't remember Steve's house. Steve's house not out this way. Yeah, it was like past West Point. I was somewhere weird, and it was just not. Yeah, I was like half an hour late, and it just inconvenienced everybody, and it's just the worst.
It was really awful, actually, and I'm mad.
And Steve had to wait to eat, and he was getting grumpy.
That isn't true at all. That part's not true in any way. Okay. Are you done? Is that all that's happened this week? Yeah, you just got lost on the way here?
My life has not been that exciting ever since the great, outage and storm of 17,
Of 17. Is that when your awning fell apart?
Yeah.
And no dogs died in the process?
No dogs died. It was great. But now there's so much snow in our backyard now. You can't even see where the awning is. It's completely buried now. So
weird.
Yeah, it's like I was walking through the backyard, and it's about a little past my knees now. So,
wow.
Because there's no sun that gets back there, so any snow that falls there is it's going to be there forever. Like, this is where it lives now.
Your house is facing south then, is that right?
It faces, the front porch faces west.
Oh.
But
it's blocked from the sun for some reason in the back? All right.
So.
I believe you. Our house faces north, and like the front never gets sun, and so like my driveway is a mess right now. But anyway, That's very much beside the point. We got a whole bunch of pet questions.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay.
My story was not that exciting, but I'm really sorry.
Jeez, Alicia.
My life is not that exciting.
Step your game up.
I'm crying now. Okay.
It's all right.
So we go off, we'll go off the page first, huh?
Yeah, the Plain Donuts page.
Yeah.
Hey, so if you want to get your questions answered...
Like, guaranteed.
Well, maybe guaranteed if we don't forget. I think we did once already. But anyway, if you want to get your questions answered, go to the Plain Donuts Facebook page or send us like a message on Twitter. And we'll see that a little better. Yeah. Oh, yes. Did we answer this question? I'm not sure if we did. Do you remember this? Maybe we'll have to start with this because it's not pet related.
Okay. Is it the hot dog?
Yeah. Did we answer that one?
I feel like maybe we did. I don't think we did. I remember like mentioning it, but maybe I thought by mentioning it we answered it. So probably not. So let's go ahead and
whatever. Maybe our answers will change. Yeah. But Chris A asked, should hamburgers and hot dogs be considered sandwiches? I'm sorry, I said that. I said that like my homies that I listen to sometimes.
And hot dogs. Should they be considered sandwiches?
Sandwiches.
So what? I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay, so hold on. Like if a hoagie or a meatball sub is considered a sandwich. Then sure, a hot dog could be too. Yeah. The problem is it's like a different category, right? Like you never like, oh man, let's go get some sandwiches, and like your friend's like, I want hot dogs. You don't say
no.
You don't say, oh, they have hot dogs at the sandwich place usually, because it's a different category. Yeah. So like maybe you could consider it like under the umbrella of sandwiches, but like not specifically.
I feel like hamburger is more sandwich than hot dog, right?
Yeah, for sure, because it's actually two pieces of bread with stuff in between.
So I don't know. That's a good question. Is this? I mean, like sub sandwich. That's a sandwich,
right?
Like a meatball sub, hoagies. What are the other category types of sandwiches or like names?
Here's another question.
I mean, people say flatbread sandwiches too.
Like, number one, are dachshunds actually considered dogs? And number two, are pugs considered dogs?
They are considered sandwiches.
Because I would say hot dogs are the dachshunds of sandwiches. And pugs are the hamburgers of sandwiches. I would say that's pretty close to right.
Yeah, that's good. I see the logic there.
Yeah. I'm with that. So of course there's sandwiches. You just can't buy your pugs and dachshunds at the same place you buy your other dogs.
Obviously.
Oh man, this metaphor totally got off the rails. So anyway, that was one question that we had, I think, a little before last week, but we just didn't answer it. You're welcome, Chris A. I hope you enjoyed that answer. I hope it made your day
I hope
happier.
It was satisfactory.
We'll get to another one right now.
Yeah.
So, do you want to read it?
Oh, what is the question?
It's from Chris.
Is there another Chris question?
There's two. Oh, this is Kristen.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's
is my really friend Kristen, my sister-in-law,
okay,
who I call Chris.
Okay, that was very confusing.
Sorry.
I was like,
I'm sorry.
I only see Kristen.
I'm very
I don't
sorry.
know. My eyes are wrong.
You're right. You're good to go.
Okay. So Ninja wants a pet. I'm assuming
Ninja's her son.
Ninja's her son. Okay, yeah. What are your suggestions for a pet for him? So I'm assuming you know your nephew. Better than I would know your nephew.
Okay, so I do know Ninja, and the best suggestion that I can give for a pet for him is a
Galapagos turtle.
No, that's a good one though. No, roly-poly, like one of those little bugs. Because, like, not a lot of responsibility, short lifespan, until...
Kind of sad. What if he gets really, really attached to this, you know?
Yeah, this is the way things go. No, that's actually not a real good... That's not...
How old is Ninja,
He is 10. I think he'll be 11 this year.
What would 10-year-old me want as a pet? Probably a puppy.
Yeah, You know, they already have 2 dogs, though, so, like, getting a third might be bad, but Ninja doesn't seem like that much of a cat person, so maybe...
Is he a reptile person? Maybe?
Oh, that's a good question, like, maybe, like, a gecko, or...
Geckos are cool.
Yeah, or, like...
Or, chameleons are really cool, but I heard they're really, like, you know,
Stinky?
high maintenance.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, ferrets are also
smelly.
they're supposed to smell bad, and you have to clean their ears all the time and stuff. So don't get them a ferret.
Yeah.
The goldfish are like actually really great pets.
Yeah.
I really like having them. We don't have any in our house right now, but
I had a hermit crab that was really cool.
We had some crabs. We bought a few different crabs. We had one named Robot.
Ooh.
Because when we bought him, he was doing that thing in the cage where he like raised his arm, like trying to catch fish or something.
Like raise your hand in the air, wave it like you just
exactly. He was like dancing, and I was like, "Oh, this crab's name is Robot." We had a fish named Stu that we had for like a couple years, a goldfish.
Stu.
Yeah, and Stu killed anything else that was in that tank. Stu was like a serious serial killer of a fish.
He wasn't stupid.
No, and the thing is, he was like a feeder fish or something.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
And we just fed him goldfish flakes with like it's supposed to like make goldfish more gold.
Became, that's how you guys taste for
flesh. Yeah, he got so gold that they made him president. Yeah.
Stay gold.
So orange that we voted him into office.
Stu, what have you done? Stu, stop doing what you're doing.
Okay, sorry. Wow, guys, I'm really sorry about all my serious political talk.
Oh, jeez.
So goldfish would be good. Really, like, the thing is this is like serious pet advice. But if you are going to be getting somebody a pet, getting your child a pet, like, you know better than me what their level of responsibility that they're capable of is. And the thing is, when you're getting your kid a pet, you don't want to be the one that you end up taking care of their dumb pet. So, like, if he can handle daily feeding and, like, training to let him outside and, like, all this stuff, if he can deal with that, get him a puppy.
Yeah.
Except then you'll have 3, which is a lot of dogs
puppies
in the house. But
that's a lot of poops.
But if you don't feel like he can handle that kind of like daily responsibility, then don't. Get him a goldfish or something. And goldfish are the best. You only have to clean their tank once in a while, and you feed them a little bit of flakes every day. It's very easy.
Keep the temperature, like set.
Not frozen or whatever. In fact, some fish can live in frozen water.
That's true.
So
koi fish can actually live underneath, and like a lot of fish actually, I think, like wild salmon
live under frozen lakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, koi fish are really expensive unless you plan on. They're like $2,000 a fish. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, koi fish are like one of the most expensive types of fish. And
that's insane.
I mean, koi fish get huge too.
Do they?
You probably see them like.
Like any fish will grow to the size of its environment. Kind of. It's a little bit weird because like Stu wasn't very big, but he just kept growing because he kept killing everything else that lived with him. So
Stu's like Rambo.
He was like absorbing their power.
Rambo fish.
He was like the Highlander of fish.
That's true. That's better. That's a better analogy.
He took their heads because there could be only one.
There can only be one Stu. So Kristen and Hannah asked the same question. Actually, they both asked, "What animal, wild, domestic, extinct, etc., would make the best pet?"
Or the worst. And the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to sound stupid because, like, the word extinct makes me think of extinct animals, right? Instead of, like, including them in the category of all animals. I'm like, oh, well, now just extinct ones. But in thinking about that, I was like, you know what? A dodo bird would actually make a really good pet.
Yeah.
Because they have, like, no fear of human interaction. That's why they all did.
Yeah.
But, like, it would be a wonderful pet.
I think they're kind of fun looking, too.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be kind of interesting.
So goofy.
And I'm sure that you could train it to do things. I mean, no one has ever met a dodo.
So mad at those explorers for killing all these dodos because, like, they're the goofiest looking bird.
Yeah.
Like, I want one in my life.
Yeah, they're so great. And I am thinking, too, of, what's the Lonesome George, the Galapagos, like, type of turtle. He's like the last one of his species of tortoises. Yeah. So he just kind of chilled and was really sad. And that's kind of a sad story.
It is sad.
So,
jeez, thanks for bringing that one up.
You're welcome.
Oh, speaking of very morally uncomfortable positions, there are, like animal ranches kind of in like Texas and these places that basically they're these big swaths of land where they have
like preserves,
rare creatures living there, but they literally breed them so that you can go hunt these rare creatures on these lands. But the thing is like some of these creatures are basically only surviving because of this breeding pattern. Weird. And so you're like, yay, they're alive. Let's kill them, but keep them alive also. Like,
keep them alive to kill them.
This is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think about, like, what... I'm assuming it's, like, types of deer, maybe, and big game. I don't know. Like, what would you kill?
Yeah, I think it's mostly larger creatures. Because,
I mean, like, thinking about, like, I want to go hunt a giant panther. Like, no, you don't. Like, that would be the most lame, like, animal to go out and try and hunt.
So, there's this one animal, the Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, yeah.
That's been expired.
He has been expired for quite a while.
They are, like...
They look kind of cool.
There's some video of them, and, like, there's this picture of one opening its mouth, and it is terrifying.
Oh, yeah. It looks kind of like a creature from your nightmares.
Yeah, it really does. Like, they're kind of cool looking, and then they, like, open their mouth, and you're like, what is going on? I'm glad you're dead, and I feel bad for saying that, but you are a horrifying creature.
So, going to worst animal to have as a pet, I'm going to say giant pandas because they're really picky and they don't want to, like, breed with each other to, like, continue their giant panda. They're just, I don't know, they just seem like...
And they probably have really big poops.
high-maintenance animals that I would not want to take care of.
You're like, do you like this lady? And they're like, no.
Like... Dude, you live in, you know...
That lady has a weird fat hole.
Like, you need to have really low standards right now, Mr. Panda.
I know.
Like, you need to stop being the way that you are.
Indeed.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, yeah, Tasmanian tiger probably wouldn't make a good pet.
Yeah.
Mostly just a horrifying pet.
Horrifying pet. That's really scary.
So I asked on the Plain Donuts page, can we answer my question, please?
Yes.
No, I asked the question... what is the reason a person should have a pet? Like, the main reason.
Always getting into these philosophical, you know, life purpose type questions.
Sorry, bro.
Why do people like to... What? I have to read your question again. I already forgot.
What is the main reason to have a pet?
The main reason to have a pet is because I want them and I am a human and they are my slaves. They are my companion slaves and they can't leave.
Hold
and
on.
They must love
what?
me.
They're your slaves?
I was talking with Steve about this earlier, but pets are dogs at least, because cats are a lot more independent than dogs.
Sure.
Dogs are essentially like companion slaves, and they go out to the bathroom when you want them to, and they eat when you want them to, and you confine them into a space, and they can't leave, and they have to stay with you, and you just want attention and affection from them.
Wow. So...
It's like Stockholm Syndrome.
All of our dogs just have Stockholm Syndrome?
Essentially, yes.
Our dogs freak out when we leave. Like, they don't freak out when we leave, but they freak out when we get back.
Yeah.
Is pretty crazy.
Our captors are back! Ah!
How about, before we go on to more questions, they freak out. They're scratching at the door for us to come in because they're like, don't hurt us.
Master, please.
No.
Don't beat me.
Before we go on to more questions, okay, so for me, the main reason I have a pet is like, because they're cute. And
they're so cute.
So one time we took our dogs and our cats actually.
I guess I should ask... or say before to preface this, Steve has 2 cats and 2 dogs.
Two cats and 2 dogs.
Yeah.
They're very little dogs and moderately small cats. Cats are all roughly the same size. So anyway, when one time we took our dogs to get groomed, and I think we took the cats too. I believe this was while we were selling our last house, but anyway, we went home and there were no animals in there, and we were like, this is so lonely. There's nobody here to be excited that we're home or anything. So that's a good reason to have pets. Yeah. But I think before we go on to more questions, we should talk about our own pets. Just like quickly give a sort of synopsis of our pets and what kind they are and their names and if they're stupid or not.
Really great picture of one of Steve's cats whose name I don't know.
That's Amelia.
Amelia. Okay.
No, that's Eloise.
Okay, I was like, I thought Amelia was big pretty. So Steve's got 2 cats, Amelia and Eloise.
See, the thing is Amelia, we call her big pretty. all the time. With that, she doesn't even have the name Amelia in our house. Unless somebody's like, what's that cat's name? And we're like, Amelia. But really, her name's Big Pretty because that's what we call her. And then Eloise is our other cat, and we call her Tiny Liney. So they're both Persians. Big Pretty is very pretty. She's a calico
They've got
Persian.
Really great like faces too, like really great cat.
Yeah,
faces.
they have like kind of flat cat
I'll
faces.
post a picture. We have an Instagram actually now, and I'll post a picture to our Instagram.
Hey, I bet you can guess what it is. Instagram.com/youareplaindonuts. So yeah, check it out because we'll be doing
cat pictures,
posting some memes.
Yeah. Sexy centaur Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I know.
Cats.
People have been freaking out about that Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I just had to warm up my mouth to get his name out. Because he told me to keep his name out my mouth, but I couldn't. I couldn't, my dude. Anyways, so those are my cats, Amelia and Eloise. Eloise, Tiny Liney, she actually, so let's start with Big Pretty because her personality is less weird. But Amelia, Big Pretty, she doesn't really care about people most of the time. But like if you're crying or if you're reading a book out loud, for some reason she's like, it's time to come around. You need me to cuddle with you. It's so funny, like because like
feeds off of emotion.
I know. My wife doesn't cry very much, but like when she does, that cat is like, it's okay. It's all right.
That's cute.
Yeah, so that's basically the only wrinkle to her personality. Otherwise, she's just like, I'm a cat.
I'm a cat. I'm here.
Eloise, Tiny Liney, is in love with me. And I don't really understand it, but she like follows me around sometimes. And if I go to bed, she's like, okay, we're going to bed now. And she like lays on my body while I'm sleeping.
Whoa.
It's really creepy. She really likes me a lot. And she used to like sit in my pants while I was sitting at the toilet. And like, so she would be, I'd be like,
this
okay,
is a thing now.
All right,
happening?
I guess that's comfortable for you, but I'm gonna have to like put these pants on in a minute. Anyway, so she's a weird cat. She gets really bad knots in her fur, so we keep her shaved down. So yeah, those are my cats. My dogs' names are Wednesday and Penny. And when they have a bunch of nicknames, of course, but we call them Wednesday and Penny often too. Wednesday is a half Shih Tzu, half Pomeranian. But most people think she just looks like a Pomeranian because she's very puffy. Puffy. If you look at her next to a regular Pomeranian, her snout is kind of shorter too. She's sort of like a permanent puppy. She just looks like a puppy forever. She's like an adult woman now. And you're like, oh, you're a cute little puppy. She's like, no, I have a job and everything.
It's kind of like when, I first got a job and some people were asking me, so, like, do you go to school? I'm like, oh, no, I have a job. Oh, like at Starbucks? Like, no, I have an adult job. Not saying that Starbucks is not a legitimate career choice if you get, in their
management track or whatever.
If you're on that track. But yeah, that was like, no, I really, like, hey, you want to hang out at 11:30? I'm like, no, I have a job. I'm like, oh, well, you can sleep in. I'm like, no, you don't understand.
I have a real job.
That's my short lament about.
I used to be like the young one at work. Like I think I was 23 when I started my first like development job, and people would always be like, "Oh, he's so young." And now I feel like an old man because like so many people are younger than me where I work.
Yeah, I think I'm the youngest person at my office. So.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, guess how old I am, you guys.
I already know the answer, so I won't guess.
Steve won't guess, but you guys can.
Yeah. This is like when you can't enter because you work there.
Yeah.
You can't enter the competition on the radio.
Steve's my coworker, my non-work coworker.
And we are not giving anything away if you guess Alicia's age right. In fact, if you guess too old, we might ban you from listening.
I'm going to ban you for life.
That's not true. So that's Wednesday, and both of my dogs are really they really love my wife very much. But Wednesday is also like so demanding. It's terrible. And she'll like start barking at you and stuff if there's something she wants. And it used to be that she would just get demanding like if she had to go outside or something. But now it's like, oh, it's time for me to have treats. And you're like,
no.
What? No.
When did you decide that?
Yeah. And then like if you don't pay enough attention to her, she'll start like hitting you with her paws. She's
kind of like, what's the child in Willy Wonka that's like, I want it now?
Augustus Gloop, is that the one?
That's the guy that ate a bunch of food.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
Not Violet, because Violet's the blueberry girl. Yeah, the girl in the red dress. She's like, I want the world. I want the whole world.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her name.
It's like that, but in dog form.
We're not part of the Willy Wonka fandom.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Wonkers.
Wonkites. Willy Wonk.
Wonkanites.
Willy Wankers.
Oh, no. Steve, no. Steve, no.
Oh, yes, the fandom for Willy Wonka fans should be called Willy Wankers.
No. This is bad. The show is rated PG-13 across the pond because wankers means something else.
Yeah, I know.
But it also means the same thing.
Well,
here.
and Willy, like,
oh yeah, it's too much.
It's just all the way in. Much. That's also a euphemism if you think of it right. Dang it, we gotta stop.
Okay. I should talk about.
Hold on, I have one more pet to talk about, and that's Penny. Penny is a little over 10 years old now. So when we bought her, she was a puppy, and yes, we bought her. I'm so sorry. We didn't adopt our dog.
Don't shop.
I know, it's terrible. We're horrible people. But anyway, like, shop dogs need good homes too. What are they just going to go to the pound if they don't get bought? That's terrible. So anyway, I feel for all dogs. But anyway, we thought when we got her that Penny would like to play with toys and stuff, and she kind of does. She doesn't like balls.
Was Penny your first pet?
She was our first pet together. In fact, we bought her, and she was Melissa's pet. I got her for Christmas before we got married.
Aww.
So, I don't think the same year, but anyway, she's cute. So we thought she would like toys because when we got her, she was sleeping and her face was like resting on a ball that she had in her cage. What we found out is she just likes to rest her face on stuff. And so
she's really cute. She's got this really great like face and like these great like crazy eyes.
Yeah, she does have crazy.
It.
I think she's kind of going blind a little bit because like I walked in with a hat on the other day because like a
stranger. I love it when dogs like when you like change like one item of clothing, they suddenly are like so thrown off by it. They're like, oh, a stranger in my house.
Who are you? Yeah. But no, she was cool. She just started barking at me, and I was like, "Penny, it's me." And
Penny, it's me, your father.
Yeah, and she figured it out. But the thing is like she's kind of old.
Oh,
excuse me. Where are these hiccups coming from, and how do I get them to go away?
Well, while you're nursing your hiccups, I guess I can talk about...
Well, so I'm almost done. Sorry.
Come on, Steve. I gotta talk about my dogs.
I know.
You know how much I love my dogs.
So eager to get out of the gate. I'm so eager to talk about my dogs. But anyway, so Penny, she's like 10 years old now, but we've kind of realized she's always been a little bit of an old lady. And so, like...
She's really... Yeah, she's got this really great, like... I don't know, like, mannerism. Like, her aura, I guess.
Okay.
The dog aura. I'm using quotes here.
Her dogora.
Her dogora. This is very, like, old dog. Like, okay, so Steve's been watching Downton Abbey, like, hate watching it.
Yeah.
So
well, I love it, but yes.
I would describe Penny as, the dowager. Like, that's 100% like Penny's
that's perfect.
Personality.
Yeah.
So.
It's great. Yeah, so she's a really funny dog. And she's, like... She used to be kind of like crabby, but now she's just lays around all the time. She's never bitten anyone in any seriousness or anything like that. She's funny. And then like when we come home and she's excited, she like picks up toys and throws them around and stuff. It's cute. It's really hilarious.
Well, hello. Welcome to the middle of the podcast where I interrupt to say thank you very much for listening. And I really mean it. Thank you very much for listening. You guys are, we always say this, but you're the best listeners. We love interacting with you. We've got some really dedicated, loyal people who are always responding to our posts and saying things to us and asking questions for the show or leaving comments or whatever. So it's awesome. It's just such a fun time to have you guys here on this journey with us. So if you like the show, it would be awesome if you would go leave a review on iTunes. You can leave a rating there as well. Those are two separate things, but you can do either or both if you want to. So that's awesome. That's a good way for us to just figure out how we're looking in terms of the rest of the podcasts on iTunes. It's pretty cool. Also, you can find all of the episodes and links to various ways to download them on our website, yourplaindonuts.com. That's yourplaindonuts.com. So it's a great way to find, if you want to share an episode with somebody, just a link to give them easily, and it's got many ways that they can use it. And if you can think of any other places you would like to see the Plain Donuts podcast syndicated, just let us know. We can get that set up. Also, you'll find links to our Facebook page and our Twitter profile there on yourplaindonuts.com as well. So yeah, go ahead and follow us there. Those are two places that you can do that. It's pretty great. You can also follow us on Instagram now. That is just Your Plain Donuts. YOUR Plain Donuts is our Instagram handle. So we're just really going full speed ahead with all this social media. So, yeah, all of those places are really good places for you to share the podcast with your friends. But also, as importantly, we now have a bit of a campaign going to share the podcast with the man, the legend, Lin-Manuel Miranda himself. This all began when we just started bugging him on Twitter and him never responding, but us being ridiculous. And now it's spread to other forms of social media to the point where for the most recent episode, not this one, but the one before, we made a Photoshop of a centaur with a sensual, very attractive face of Lin-Manuel Miranda on it. So, if you could do us the huge favor of sending Lin-Manuel Miranda that picture of himself on any form of social media you would like, that would do us a great deal of good. And actually, probably it will just get us muted and he'll be like, leave me alone. But to us, it's funny. And to you, it will be funny as well. And, you know, it's ridiculous. So, and Lin-Manuel Miranda is kind of a ridiculous fellow in some ways if you follow him at all. So anyway, I know that's stupid. It's just for fun. And we like to have fun. This is a comedy podcast, dang it. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. Please do like, follow, share, all the things. And please do enjoy the rest of the show.
About your
I have so many great dogs. I have 2 dogs and they're both great.
Okay.
I love my dogs. I love my dogs so much. I call them my children or my fur children or my dogren or just...
You call them dogren?
Dogren. My dogkin.
You could call them your pups.
My pups.
Because they, like, as if you birthed them.
It's a little weird, but sure.
Sorry. This podcast is getting weird today.
It's getting a little weird today. I just call them my boys. So I got 2 dogs, Charlie and Cooper. They sound like just regular human names. So when I talk about them, sometimes people think I'm talking about like toddlers
your
or
children.
something, and they're like, "Oh, I thought you were talking about your kids," until you like said one of them like pooped on the floor and then he went to get them groomed or something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, it's their dogs.
Definitely dogs.
Yeah.
Defo 2 dogs.
Defo 2 dogs. So Cooper, he is our first dog that we got. I got Cooper, and I did not tell Otto that I was getting a dog.
What kind of dog is Cooper?
Cooper is a Jack Russell Terrier. And so he is very hyperactive, and he is really defiant.
Yeah.
He's like a very defiant child.
So what did you say? Like, how did it go down when you got a dog?
I said, I have a dog, and Otto's like, what? And this was, so I got Cooper right before we got married, so it's not like I don't need his permission anyways. It's 2017, okay? And back then it was like 2014, so whatever. I don't need Otto's permission for dogs. And so I got this dog, and he's like, why did you get a dog? Like, without asking, before we, because it was like a couple months before we got married. I'm like, he was really cute and I wanted a dog. And I saw him on KSL.com. Plug for KSL.com to find dogs. And Cooper, he's very defiant. And when I went to call the person who was going to sell him to me, he was like really interested in my life and like if I was actually going to provide a good home for this dog, which was really weird because normally when you contact these like sellers on KSL, like a lot of them are really sketchy and things, but he's like, oh yeah, like once we meet up, I'll show you pictures of his mom and his dad, and I'll actually bring his mom and, and send me pictures, like once he's like a couple weeks older and things. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And I didn't like believe him, but he called me like a month later after I got Cooper. He's like, I haven't seen any pictures yet. And I'm like, oh, you're serious? Like you really want to make sure that
this dog is okay.
Yeah, so. That's
pretty great.
That's pretty nice.
It's actually the same kind of story when we got Wednesday. We saw her on KSL. We had kind of just been like perusing pictures of dogs because that's a great time.
And how old is Wednesday?
She is not even 4.
Oh, so Cooper and Wednesday are like pretty similar in age then.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, so my wife sent me this picture of this dog, and I was like, that is a tiny bear.
We need that.
I need to put that tiny bear in my life. And so we called the people and we're like, this dog is so cute. We really want to meet her and for her to be our pet dog forever. And they were like, it's funny because there were other people in line for her in front of us, but they were like asking weird questions like, oh, how soon do you think she'll be able to breed and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we don't want her to do stuff like that. Our dog is not a whore, okay?
So we called and they're like, oh, you just seem so nice. And I was like, we really want this dog. And then we went there to get her and we met her dad, who was this little Shih Tzu, like cranky old guy. But there's a picture of Wednesday when she was a puppy.
Oh my gosh, it's really cute, you guys.
Alicia is crying now. So
that is true. Steve's heard stories, and these are true stories. When I'm like really emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
And sometimes just when I'm normal, I see cute animals and cute dogs, and I sob. Like I'm really sobbing and crying. And I actually scared Otto one time because we were in. Maybe I told the story before, but when we were in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru and I saw 2 cute dachshunds in a car ahead of us, and they were being like really well behaved.
Oh no!
They both had their little paws like up on the steering wheel, like they were driving, and I just broke down. I was a mess, and Anna was like, "What's happening? What's wrong? What's going on?" I'm like, "There are 2 dogs, and they're really cute." And it's like, "What are you talking about?"
This is a wonderful story.
So, when I see really cute like dog videos, I'm like tearing up just a little bit because it's like really precious.
Wednesday we used to have a really long living room downstairs, and she would run from one side to the other. But I think I might have told this story before, but she like couldn't keep up with her back legs, couldn't keep up with her front legs couldn't keep up with her back legs. She'd like start kind of jackknifing. Her butt would get in front of her. This is her again.
Oh my gosh. And Steve's got long hair too.
Yeah. Oh man,
Long
I used
hair,
to have
Steve.
like the metalest hair of all time.
Steve is so metal.
Which is it's actually such a lie because I had this friend one time who was like, you look like the bass player for a metal band, bro. And I was like, I don't listen to metal at all. I'm such a
hilarious.
faker.
Poser.
Yeah,
Steve's such a poser.
It was a really good time. In fact, like this picture.
Oh yeah, well, Steve, you're gonna have to post some of these.
I know we have to post. I'm
them.
so sorry. We're talking about things you can't see. It's really bad. So we will try to like make a post of images.
Things. Yeah, slideshow.
Yeah. Keep a lookout for that because we'll get it for you for sure.
For sure. Maybe. Anyways, sorry, that was a really long tangent.
Yeah, so that was Cooper, right?
So Cooper, and he's defiant, and he will get up on the couch and get up on the bed, and he just doesn't like. No matter how many times I like yell at him or like try and train him to do what I want him to do, he just doesn't want to do it, and that's like a typical. Like Jack Russell mentality.
Yeah.
Like they're very stubborn dogs. So
Penny's a Pekingese and she has a little flat, ugly face.
So cute.
And her breed is much like that. She's actually really smart and knows a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
But sometimes she's like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like,
and Cooper, he's so smart, and it freaks me out because he knows how to open doors and he knows how like to. He's really small, but he can jump. They can jump 3 times their body height or something like that.
That's a high
so
jump.
He can jump about 3 feet tall, and so he gets up on the counters.
Okay, so tell us about Charlie.
Charlie.
And then we have like 14 minutes left.
Okay, jeez. Okay. Charlie is my greyhound, and he's my best boy. I call him Prince Charles or Charlie Boy.
He's a greyhound.
Charles.
He's not like
greyhound.
one of those mini greyhounds.
No, he is not an Italian greyhound. He's a full-sized greyhound. He runs 45 miles an hour, and he was a good racing dog. So we adopted him from the Greyhound Rescue Association of Utah, which is a really great place because the greyhounds, they'll come in and they have like worms, and they actually, when they've raced them, they're not like interacting with people or stairs or grass or like really anything. They only know like the inside of their kennel and then like racing, and then they go back in. They haven't like been like attended to in any way. So when he came, he was like very shy and awkward, and I felt bad because it was kind of like adopting a child too, because they're really strict in like how they like what people they want to take these dogs, because they're kind of like more like high maintenance, I guess is the word. But once you have them, they're like totally chill. But like we had to go through like a phone interview, and then we had to go do an in-person interview. Like Otto and I had to go to this person's house, like do this interview, and then they had to come over and do like a house inspection too, to like check out our house. And we had to fill out all this paperwork and like information. Inspect your house? They inspected our house.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it was like adopting a child. And then we didn't hear anything for like 6 months after this. So it really is kind of like adoption. And then one day they just call you and like, okay, we have a dog for you and it's going to be here in 24 hours. You're like, okay, like I got to get ready for this dog. Like I feel like I'm adopting a baby and it's coming and I just got to get ready.
Yeah.
But when we first got him, he luckily knew how to go up and down stairs, which some greyhounds don't know how to do, so he was covered in that. But he had worms, and when we first brought him inside, he wasn't sure what to do, so he stood in our living room. He didn't sit down, he didn't move for 6 hours.
Really?
He stood for 6 hours until his little poor legs were shaking because he was tired of standing.
Oh, no!
And then he finally, like, rested in his little, like, kennel area that we set up. Like, here's a treat. Like, you can go and lay down. It's okay. You know?
Wow.
So,
6 hours?
Yeah, he just stood.
Did you try to get him to lay down?
Yeah,
and
we,
stuff?
like, kind of sat next to him, and we're petting him, and we're like, it's okay. But he would, like, get, like, really tense. And,
oh, no.
So it was really sad, but now he's healthy, and, he loves to run around, but it's a misconception that greyhounds are really hyperactive dogs, because all they want to do is sleep a lot, and we always say, like, oh, it's because he's retired. Yeah. And I always joke with Otto, like, Charlie had a better job than me, like, he's already retired now, and, like, he worked harder than me, and So
that's true. All those things are true.
Yes. But he's a really cute brindle dog, and greyhounds have these really great noses where they're not like necessarily like completely like fixed on their faces, so they kind of just bend all around.
Oh,
so
weird.
When he's like looking at something, he'll put his nose on something and kind of move, and like it like kind of moves independently. It's just weird, yeah. And he won't like steal food like Cooper will. He'll kind of just put his face on it and like, this is mine now? Question mark? Like, I'm touching it with my face, so anyways.
Probably mine, right?
Yeah, so it's mine. And I'm like, oh, fine, good. He's got these really weird, like, they say it's like the stare of affection. There's so many weird like greyhound things, but because most dogs, when they stare directly into your eyes, it's kind of like a sign of like defiance or aggression, or like I want to like bark at you or something. But when greyhounds do it, they do have like these really huge like sad eyes, and they just want to look at you because they love you. Aww. That's what they say. I'm like, that's so cute. And then I cry, and it's just a big mess.
Of course. Okay, so we gotta get to some of these other questions. Yeah. We are definitely pretty far into it.
Alright, so we're gonna have to do some fast feedback, part 2.
I know. Seriously. Okay, so we had somebody on your post who asked a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Pick one to start with, and then we'll switch over to me.
Okay. Jenny, my friend, asked me, I'll go to her 4th question. What was your first pet?
My first pet was, we've told this story before in our early podcasting days. Days. We had a dog named Prince who was killing our neighbors' chickens and had to be put down.
Oh, Prince.
That was very sad.
Prince and Prince are both passed now.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's true. Anyway, then I think the next pet we had was, I believe it was Daisy, who was dachshund. And then we had dachshunds growing all up. So it was cute. I also had here's a very sad story.
Oh, no. I don't know if I want to hear this.
Are you sure?
Okay.
It's really sad.
How sad? Like, really,
you know
really
that website, doestheDogDie.com?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Okay. All right.
I can't handle it, Steve. I'm an emotional
sure
wreck.
You don't want to have crying on the podcast?
We don't need that.
It's such a cute story, but for me, of me.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I think
it's really cute, but it's also very like heart-wrenching. Just tell the story. Just tell it. Are you sure?
Yes, I give my consent.
Have you steeled yourself?
I'm good.
So anyway. We had my parents would breed dachshunds every year, a couple years, just depending on what was going on. And we had one litter that we were going to keep a puppy from, and I think her name was Mitzi. I think that was her name. And then and for some reason I loved this dog, right? And then one day she got out into the road and got hit by a car. Oh,
Steve.
And it was so sad.
That's so tragic.
Yeah, and she wasn't grown or anything. And so we're almost done. We're almost done. But I was standing at the door and I couldn't even go out there. I was just looking through our screen door and my dad had to go take care of it. And I was so sad and I cried and all this stuff. And it's weird because it affected me more than the rest of my family. Before that I'd never had a pet that I was close to, so that was pretty tragic.
That sounds very tragic.
But it was little 11-year-old Steve was my puppy, so that's kind of cute, right?
Cute. That's mostly a sad story.
That's Marley and Me cute, right?
Marley and Me, that was the worst movie ever.
Sorry everybody. Now
okay.
Now everyone's weeping.
So my first pet was a Shiba Inu, actually, and shout out to our mutual friend Sean Musel and Alex.
Yeah.
I said that last name. I'm really sorry. Alex and Sean, who have a Shiba Inu.
It's okay. Sean's a public person.
He is a public person.
He has a
thing.
He has a nonprofit called
The Freedom Journey.
The Freedom Journey.
Yeah.
So, he'll appreciate that plug, and now I don't have to go back and edit it.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And he's a regular listener.
He is a regular listener. So, had a Shiba Inu, and we actually called our Shiba Inu, which is dog in Japanese, while we lived in Japan.
Oh, cool.
So we had a Japanese dog named Dog in Japan, and he ran away, but he came back. But my mom had to make these posters for him, and like it was like she saved one, and it's the funniest thing because it's like missing Japanese dog named Dog. Like that's essentially what it would like say in Japanese, and it's a picture of him, but it looks just like all the other Shiba Inus out there. And I was like, this is the worst poster ever. Like, why do we have to name it that? Like, that's awful. Anyways, that's my first pet.
Missing. Dog the dog.
Dog the dog. Have you seen Dog the dog?
Have you seen Dog the bounty hunter? No, the dog.
The dog, yeah.
Great joke. Okay, so my friend Aldo, he actually left us an anecdote, which I appreciate. He said, back when I was working graveyard shifts, there was this cat in the neighborhood. Probably didn't have an actual home since I never saw a collar, but he would sit in the parking lot of my neighborhood and walk me home at 4 a.m.
Aww.
I think parking lot of his work. And walk him home at 4 a.m. He would wait for me, which was weird because I never fed him or let him into the house. The nicest cat I've met, second to my friend's cross-eyed cat.
That's actually a really nice story.
I know, it's lovely. Yeah. I want a cat that walks me home.
Do you have like a neighborhood cat? Because we have like a neighborhood cat that it's someone's cat, but I don't know who it is, but just kind of like chills in the street, and sure everybody pets it.
This neighborhood is sort of weird right now because it's not very established.
She lives in like a newly developed neighborhood area.
Yeah. So anyway, do you have another one from there? You think we kind of barreled through those two?
Yeah. Hannah. There's two Hannahs.
Okay.
I'll go with the first Hannah D. She asks, human clothes on pets, yay or nay? I say yay because I put leggings on Charlie and it's hilarious.
Okay, so does she mean like actual
human clothes?
Like my dog's wearing my shoes or something? The thing is my dogs couldn't maybe like
their shoes are huge.
I could figure out how to like get them into my underwear, but that would be really weird. Unless they were each in one leg, then it would be pretty funny. I'm going to do that.
I'm going to say yay. So we both say yay to human clothes on pets.
Yes.
Other Hannah A asks, what is the worst pet you've had or can imagine having? For example, a cat that only poops next to his litter box. I'm assuming that happens to you, Hannah.
My cats are not very good about... They're like... They'll poop like near the litter box. And I'm like, this isn't helping me.
Can you imagine if humans did that? I mean, some humans do that though. Like in public bathrooms, they're like, I'll just pee on the floor. That's close enough.
I can't sit on that.
I'll take a poop on the side of the toilet.
I can't sit on that thing. It's cold there.
Humans are way grosser than pets. Although humans don't eat their own vomit.
That is true. Let's not go any further down that road.
Anyways, do you have more questions on yours?
Yeah, I do.
Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them, my friend Taylor said, "Why is the damn struggle so real?" And then he posted a picture of his cat sleeping, which I don't necessarily get the correlation, except that the struggle for that cat is not so real. But that's a lovely cat.
Nice. It's a cute cat.
My other friend Jennifer said, tomcats are female biatch cats. Why are tomcats so much cooler and laid back than their female counterparts?
I don't know. I don't have cats, but I like cats, and I have a lot of friends that have cats.
So I can say this: our cats were horrible before we got them spayed, because like they sort of got in this weird rotation where they were always in heat, like at least one of them, and you just hear this like in our basement and stuff. We never let them outside, but they were like, it was horrible. And
were you just about to say it was really horny cats were horrible?
Yeah, they were very horny, horrible cats. Anyway, it was bad, and we finally got them spayed. And actually, when we went to get them spayed, my wife like had a pretty severe allergic reaction to, because we took them to the Humane Society to have them spayed, and my wife had like for some reason a pretty severe allergic reaction to the different danders at the Humane Society. Weird. So I had to like take her to the emergency room. Like I was just gonna go home, and she has asthma, so she would take a puff or whatever and be okay.
Take a puff.
Yeah, but she's like, just take me to the hospital.
Oh, that's
like she
bad.
couldn't really breathe in the car, and I was like, I don't know where it is, but all right, here we go. She knew where it was,
and she lived. Spoiler alert. So
yeah,
that's a spoiler. She's alive. She's downstairs right now.
It was pretty.
That's scary.
It was kind of scary, actually. Like she couldn't walk very well to the emergency room, so I had to like go get her a chair and wheel her in.
Crazy.
And then like there were a bunch of people around, like, oh, we got to give you this breathing treatment, like all these things, and it wasn't like they weren't treating it in a way where it was like, oh, you gonna die.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was kind of serious, and I gave them the wrong insurance card, and so like they had my dental insurance on file.
They're like, what is this?
Yeah,
we can't charge this. Gotta love our American healthcare system.
So I got a bill for the like the whole thing,
and you're like, this is not right.
Yeah,
this is really expensive.
So that was pretty bad. But anyway, since they've been spayed, the cats have been much nicer. I'd have never had male cats, I don't think. My mom did have one cat that was a male named Lucky, and like he was really skittish about people when we first got him, because I was still living in the house at the time, and then I moved away. But like when he first like got there, he was skittish and kind of like stayed in one room, and she's like, should we get rid of him? I don't know if I like this cat. And I was like, you don't just get pets and then get rid of them. Like he's
part of the family.
Like he has mental health issues. We need to help him.
Oh my god.
So he was a cool cat.
He was a cool cat.
Hey. So he actually, R.I.P. Lucky, he just died sometime like last year or the year before.
Bless his heart.
He was, and he literally, like, they called him Lucky because I think the rest of his family was in a fire or something.
This is a story about a cat named Lucky.
Yeah, and he was like the only one that survived, so they called him Lucky.
Speaking of that, a friend of mine, Caitlin, asked of pets dying, do all dogs go to heaven?
Yep.
Next question.
So, my friend Sheldon said, the meanest thing, you could spend the whole podcast talking about how cats are just the worst. And I was like, I don't know, because, like, cats are all right.
They're cool cats. I mean, there are some jerk cats that I've encountered, but most cats are cool cats. Like, they just kind of want to chill.
Yeah.
It's like your stoner friend, you know? Cats are just like your permanent stoner friend that just want to eat your food. Don't really poop in the right place, but it's because they're really stoned. And, you know, it's just... They're just hanging out, so...
Well, and the thing is like, some people are very needy about their pets. Like, I need you to love me. Yeah. You can't be that way with cats. Yeah. Like... They'll give you attention when they want to, and you just gotta be grateful that it's happening.
You just gotta be cool with what's happening.
And maybe eventually you'll get a cat that's in love with you who will come when you call, like mine does, for some reason.
Because he's just really, really in love with you.
She's weird. She's a weird cat.
Yeah, so all that to say, cats really are needing consent before you touch them. Consent for cats, hashtag cat consent.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Dogs, not so much, because dogs...
Yes is yes. Anything else is no. So, and then I think the last thing on my post was Chris A., who we answered a question from in the very beginning. He said, people names for pets, yes or no?
Yes, because both of my dogs have people names.
Cooper and Charlie. My cats are Amelia, Eloise, so they both have, like people-ish names.
Yeah. Like Edwinian period people names.
Penny's a people name, kind of. Like, if you think of, like, Money Penny or other people named Penny. Yeah. And Wednesday is literally named after Wednesday Addams. Her name is actually Wednesday Addams Matney. So
is that her full
name? That's her full Christian name.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, that's all the questions I had.
I had one more from Cola.
Oh, okay. Right.
So
welcome back to the podcast, Cola.
Jeez. And this is a good one to end on. What's your most embarrassing pet story?
I saw this earlier and I forgot.
So Charlie is usually the best boy. Charlie is my best dog. He's very calm. He's very mellow. He's really cute. He looks really good in hats, and he wears the hats.
Okay.
A good attitude.
This is the Greyhound.
This
Charlie,
is the Greyhound,
right?
yes. I was walking him around Farmer's Market, and I was going over, and I saw a mutual friend of ours, Cindy, at the Farmer's Market, and I'm talking to her. And Charlie, his one fault is he really likes to pee a lot on things.
Oh, jeez.
Cindy was working at this booth, and she had all this, like, important-looking paperwork. And Charlie was like, I'm going to pee on this and also a little on Cindy. And I was mortified. I was like, I want to just die. Like, I feel so bad. Like, how do you apologize for your dog peeing on, like, important documents and also a person? Like, I don't know how to...
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how you apologize for that.
I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I helped clean up, but...
I'm trying to think, like, we go through so many kind of, like, ups and downs with our pets. Like, so we took Amelia to get groomed one time, and we were like, oh, well, she has, like, cat asthma, so...
Cat asthma.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to say that about Amelia. Like, she has, like, breathing problems, so when you hear her walking around, it's all... like, all the time.
That's awesome.
And... like the vets have been like, oh, we could try this, and actually like steroids help, but she, like, if you keep a cat on steroids just like anybody else, they get high risk of getting diabetes. So we're like,
and also getting jacked.
Yeah. High risk of getting jacked. So we took her to get groomed, and they're like, yeah, we don't want her to get too worked up because like that can be pretty dangerous. Like, so that kind of embarrassing. They're like, oh, your cat, we can't do it. We're halfway through. So that Amelia was like half shaved for a while. And then we took her, like, it was really weird. So we tried to take her to Banfield Pet Hospital, which is a local hospital where they have grooming and also veterinary stuff. And they're like, they can probably do it there. They can give her, like, lavender or something and make her calm down.
Oh, like essential oils.
Whatever. I don't know. I was like, okay. But then they were like, oh, no, her asthma's too bad. We need to do a bunch of treating on her. Wow. And so then after a while, like, we went back and forth to the vet, like, trying to figure out how to get it under control. And she seems to be okay right now. It's actually, like, it for some reason, like, flares up more in the winter, it seems, that I've noticed. Like, she kind of has, like, seasonal allergies.
Might be like the rest of us in Utah, which has really awful air. Yeah. I think we have the worst air in the United States, last I heard. And today was a red day, actually. It was actually hazardous to be breathing outside. So
which I did a lot today.
I did, too. And that's probably why I'm like, today.
I start to get a headache from it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Utah air.
Thanks, Utah. Getting bigger and brighter every day. Not.
So anyway, but that kind of stuff to me isn't really embarrassing. Yeah. Like, and I've never had an animal, like, pee on somebody that I can remember, except my cat. We tried to shave her, and Eloise, this is recent, actually. I tried to shave her butt, and because that's the one that gets the mat, so we have to shave her. She peed on me while I was doing it, and then I tweeted, I've officially been peed on. Does that mean I can be a dad now? Or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, and Cooper, he did that to me, too. Mm-hmm. Well, he jumps on our bed, which I normally don't like, but he was, like, looking really cute. I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Mm-hmm. And he's like a child, because when he falls asleep after drinking a lot of water, he pees on the bed. So he peed on our bed.
Oh, no.
I'm like, great, and I have to wash all the sheets. So I take off the sheets, and like, I went to go wash him, and he's standing under me, and then he throws up on my foot.
Oh,
I'm like,
jeez.
this is like you're like a child right now. Like, I can't.
Oh, jeez.
Not that, I know some people get really worked up. Like, a pet's not like a kid. Like,
okay, so here's a story. It's not really very embarrassing, except for, like, the person involved, so I won't name any names. I lived with a guy. He was a cool dude, and, like, he eventually married this girl and stuff. And anyway, so we were there with Penny in our apartment, just hanging out, and his girlfriend was like I don't know. She was like, I don't really like dogs. That I'm not into them at all. And then she's like looked at Penny and she's like, that one's kind of making me want to like her
that
or whatever.
One's making me feel
and
things.
I was like, don't be so high and mighty. I heard you screaming. Because that was the whole, like, my whole life was like, we'd go home and these two would be like through the thin walls of our apartment in my roommate's room, like just going for it and like with no shame. And I'm just like, you can't be mad at me for having my dog in here when I've basically like heard all of your insides being pushed out.
Oh my God. When I've basically been in the room with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the worst. Oh.
So anyway, that was a hilarious time actually, because like Melissa would be this is before we were married, but she would hang out all the time. Mm-hmm. So we'd like look at each other and be like, what is this?
Like, is someone dying? Is everything okay?
What do you do? Like, do you knock on the door and be like, hey, yo, we're trying to watch a movie out here, you know?
I don't know. I would just start like turning up like something like classical harp music really, really
just
loud.
Really loud classical harp.
Yeah. Or start making something like, I don't know, like really spicy, like cook really spicy foods.
Oh man, that dude used to get high with like his friends. They would come over and smoke in our apartment. I don't know. Him and I didn't have a lot in common. But like,
how did you end up living together?
Well, we moved in together because he knew one of our previous roommates, and then that guy was like, "I'm gonna go to school or something. Yeah. I don't want to live with you guys anymore, whatever." And him and I were like, well, okay, we'll just find another apartment together. We're cool.
Yeah.
And like, really, we were like, we
were chill.
Got along pretty well. But it's so funny. Like, here's a tip for living with like stoner roommates. Like, don't make food unless you're gonna eat it right away. Because like there was one time my wife made like a whole thing of brownies because she's like, oh, we're gonna eat these later. She wasn't my wife at the time. She just used our kitchen sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. When you're like dating and stuff, you're like always together. Anyway, so she made a thing of brownies like expecting that we would eat them later at some point. And him and his friends like got high and ate all of the brownies.
You're like, dude, those are my brownies.
Yeah.
And they're not special cool brownies. They're just regular plain old brownies for non-pot smoking Steve.
Hashtag plain brownies.
That's our offshoot podcast.
I know. Oh man. I thought of us. Okay, so this will be the last thing, I guess, but I just thought that was a funny story of my roommate and his girlfriend just really going for it. Like, I appreciate their enthusiasm. Like, now, having been in... Like, I appreciate that they were like...
You need to... I think we can
so
stop
anyway... So I thought maybe it would be funny. It would be funny to do like little animated shorts from the podcast, and put them on YouTube or something, and call it Plain Donuts.
Oh yeah,
you know, like small donuts. Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
Donuts would also be a great name for our chorus line if we ever happen to hire a bunch of people for a chorus
donuts.
line.
That's
donuts.
Yeah, my mom used to do barbershop quartets and barbershop like big choruses, which means that they had no music. It was just all voices. Yeah. So yeah, the donuts. It sounds like the name of like a doo-wop group.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Donuts.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, this has been Plain Donuts.
Shout out to all the donut holes.
Yeah, shout out to all you donut holes.
And donuts and...
Donut holes is the name that we call you now. Yeah. Don't you feel good about yourselves?
You voted for it.
D-holes? You...
It's bad.
You whole bunch of holes. Donut holes. I don't... Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, we love you. That's it.
We love you. Heart.
You're great.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.